We start with the symptom, which most people focus on, which is debt. And yes, we have major problems of external debt. And here I emphasize it's debt denominated in dollars and euros and foreign currencies. The source of external borrowing, the source of that debt crisis, can be identified in three basic areas across the African continent. Number one, food deficits. Number two, energy deficits. And number three, manufacturing value-added deficits. And I'll explain each very briefly in language that everybody will understand. Food deficits. Today, Africa, according to the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, the latest numbers we have, Africa imports 85% of its food. 85% of our food comes from outside the continent, when less than 100 years ago, during colonial times, we used to be the breadbasket for colonial powers.
Absolutely.
So that transformation didn't happen by accident. It was by design, intentional design. And it was as soon as we started to gain independence in the 1950s and early 60s. To be more specific, in 1955, when the Europeans were meeting in Rome for the Treaty of Rome, the foundation of the European Union, they said, we have a problem. We have a food sovereignty problem. We're so dependent on the colonies. So they decided to start investing in their own food sovereignty. In 1962, they introduced the European Common Agricultural Policy, which is a heavy agricultural subsidy system to prioritize the production of core crops in Europe. So maize, wheat, soybean, the core crops that every society needs for its survival, essentially. And as a result, our farmers in the global south, in Africa in particular, couldn't compete with the subsidized wheat and corn and barley that's coming from Europe. And of course, it wasn't just Europe. It was the major economic blocs, the US, Canada, Australia, Japan, the former Soviet Union, which is why Russia and the Ukraine dominate the exports of wheat and corn globally. So as the global system was reshuffled with those countries producing the core crops, our farmers couldn't compete with the cheaper wheat or corn. So they had to specialize in something else. So we started specializing in cash crops for exports: coffee, tea, tobacco, cocoa, all the tropical fruits and every complementary food items. So today we're in a system where we consume what we don't produce and we produce what we don't consume.
That's so